Hello, my colleagues. Welcome to the PMP exam rulebook. For those of you taking the PMP exam, you want to pay attention to those rules. Now, I've tried my best to camouflage and make some of this not as obvious, just to make sure that I don't spoil the experience for you when you take the full-blown mock exam. But there is one question that cannot be hidden because there's a word that jumps out at you, and I decided we might as well just make it look like what it is. But it's a question that is of a tricky nature. It's tricky. It's not a nice question. Let's take a look at the question for today. The question reads, a project manager is informally told that a possible union strike, protest in low wages will involve the team. This would impact schedule and budget. The probability of this happening was unanticipated. What should the project manager do? I'll give you a minute as usual. Think about it, choose an option, and I'll be back to share the rationale. All right, my friends, three, two, and one. Let's end it. So once again, I know that many of you have seen this question. And honestly, I see these sessions as trying to help you make sense out of the options that you thought should be the correct answer, but were not, okay? Those of you who are in the know, you know where this is from, okay? You've seen this similar to this before. Let's keep it real, but I don't want to spoil it too badly for people, but they'll probably get the question right after I explain it. Why don't we take a look at the rule that is associated with today's question? The rule is as follows. You ready? The word unanticipated overrides most everything else. It means not expected or predicted. And I know I have foolishly displayed the correct answer, but let's discuss why the answer is what it is. So going through this, my friends, there are a few things I want to block out and a few things I want to accentuate. So a project manager is informally told, note that this is informal, a possible union strike. Think about this. There's always a possibility of a strike in the horizon to some degree, isn't there? So it's not an entirely unconceived event at any level, in any company. Workers can strike for any reason. But the project manager is told informally that a possible union strike, protest in low wages, so we know it's a real thing, low wages, will involve the team. In other words, someone whispers to the project manager, oh, they're planning a strike. And if it does happen, it will involve the team. Now, what do you do with such informal conversation? This is what we call observation and conversation. You're having casual conversation. It's foolish of a project manager not to take that and look into it. Okay. It says this would impact schedule and budget. Okay. If it happens, it would impact schedule and budget. The probability of this happening was unanticipated. I've made the question as simple as possible for you. This word unanticipated just means it had not been conceived. See that? So when you read it, it sounds like, well, this is something that was thought of, but the degree to which it could happen is unanticipated. No, the entire outfit, the risk and the probability, I want you to think about it as both. Because if you don't think about the entire thing as being anticipated, you will be led down a dark alley. So, what do I mean? This word, you see this word anywhere around a risk question, you got to be thinking, is this in the risk register? If it's unanticipated, you better believe it is not in the risk register. The moment you see the probability is unanticipated, two things could come to mind. One is this is on a watch list, right down at the bottom, or this isn't even on the list. And for me, I like to think about this as it was so far away from something that could happen in their minds that they didn't even record it. If it was in the register, I would have expected that the probability of this happening, though registered, was low. You see what I mean? I would have written it a little bit differently. I'm in high demand. Okay. But the bottom line is the word unanticipated throws a wrench into everything. So the question then says, what should the project manager do with this unanticipated thing? Let's read. A, resolve conflict with the union. Well, no one said there was any conflict in the first place. This is a wage issue, okay? It's not a given that there is conflict. There's a misunderstanding, but not necessarily conflict. There's something that they want, but not necessarily conflict. So we cancel that. B, update the risk register with a new risk. Think about it. Is it new? It's unanticipated. Could we say it's new? We probably could, but let's hold off on B. Let's go to C. Threaten the team with disciplinary action. Well, this is never a good thing. Threatening people with disciplinary action for protesting low wages is never a good thing. That's bad. Don't do that. Don't threaten people. Don't threaten people with disciplinary action. Doesn't end well. And D says obtain more information about the probability of this occurring. Now think about it. How much more information do you want? Which additional probability information? I mean, it's not rocket science. There's a likelihood this could happen. You're informally told. It's not as if you got white papers to read on it. It's obviously informal, but it's something you should consider. So saying obtain more information, how? It's informal right now, and there's nothing more to it other than there's a higher likelihood of this happening. So what you want to do as a project manager is update the risk register. The answer is B, and it reads the PM should be proactive, registering the risk and then communicating the risk to stakeholders. And that is true, but I think it's a very poorly written question in that it had promise, but somewhere along the line, it got a little bit unfair. I have made it fair in how I have rewritten it. If you saw the original question, you probably would have been as confused as everyone else who has seen it. But I hope from my rationalization regarding the rule to follow, the word unanticipated overrides most everything else. It means not expected or predicted. Okay, for those of you who are taking the exam in 2021, I want to keep reminding you, go to projectmanagementmasterclass.com, sign up. We have training starting on the 9th of January next year, and it will be a pleasure to have those of you who want to get certified next year in the class. For those of you who are watching this to ace the exam in 2020, more power to you. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care. Bye for now.